This is the Understatement of the Year award, right? By Vice President J.D. Vance's bill to dismantle diversity, equity, and inclusion protections. Now, keep in mind, the DEI programs are designed to get high-quality, well-qualified people into positions of power who might, by virtue of their race or gender or religion, generally be blocked from them. But she wants to know, why does the Trump administration, why are they so committed to taking apart efforts to improve the quality of the federal workforce, or at least they say that they're taking this apart because they say it will not improve the quality of the American workforce, bizarrely. And then they put forward people like Pete Hegseth and Bob Kennedy and it's just Matt Gaetz. I mean, people are, Tulsi Gabbard, people are scratching their heads. She said, if this is really about making sure that we have qualified individuals inside the federal government, she asked, why is the president-elect choosing absolutely unqualified cabinet secretaries to be the head of every single agency? Well, this is the question that I thought I answered yesterday. And I think that we need to really look at the bigger picture here. Republicans have been campaigning for the better part of a century now on ending government, on destroying the American government, on tearing down the American government. When FDR came into office in 1932, there were a few federal agencies, but basically the federal government was weak and small. And FDR created a federal government that would be strong and would be helpful to the average American. Now, keep in mind, when FDR came into office, only 15% of us were in the middle class. You don't get to have a middle class that's half of America unless, very clearly, very explicitly, you have government that is willing to intervene in the marketplace on behalf of middle-class people. As long as the government is hands-off, you're going to end up with oligarchy. You're going to end up with, the rich people running the show and the average person screwed and our middle class collapsing down to 15% like it was in 1933. Which, of course, is exactly what Donald Trump and his billionaire buddies want. I mean, keep in mind, when back in 1980, when David Koch ran for vice president of the United States on the Libertarian ticket, he ran on a platform of not just ending the education department, but ending public schools. Now, you've got multiple Republican states now that are in the process of ending public schools with, statewide voucher programs. David Koch ran on a platform of ending the Environmental Protection Agency. Ramaswamy and Musk, I predict, will take a meat axe to the EPA, just like, Trump hired an oil executive last time around to run the EPA, and he did the same thing. I mean, and those are just two of dozens of agencies that basically protect us or protect our environment or protect the world in general, or even world peace, that Republicans want to get rid of. Why? Because billionaires don't want to pay their damn taxes, and government agencies cost money. The New Mexico Democrat, this is Melanie Stansbury, noted that this bill would amend, this Republican bill, legislation basically to do away with DEI, would amend the Civil Rights Act and the federal code. She said, this is similar to what Joe McCarthy was doing in the 1950s, the so-called Red Scare. Joe McCarthy got us all cranked up about, there's over 200 communists in the State Department, and I have the list right here in my jacket pocket on these pieces of paper. He's waving blank paper, right? But I'm not going to show them to you. I'm just going to talk about them. Right. So she says, welcome to the new House Committee on Un-American Affairs and the New McCarthyism. We have arrived here today with this bill. The bill, by the way, has the support of the Heritage Foundation. Stansbury says, we've now got a worldwide wrestling executive who's going to run education. By the way, our proposed education secretary, Linda McMahon, apparently once claimed she had a degree in education when, in fact, her qualification was that she had once filled in as a substitute teacher. according to news reports. Stansbury says, we've got a Fox News commentator who's going to run the military for us. She said, this is modern McCarthyism. They're preparing for a purge. Yes, they are. That is true.